July 11th, on this day, in 1274, Robert the Bruce was born. He would later become King of Scotland, ruling from 1306 to 1329, and played a major role in Scotland's fight for independence. In 1302, during the Battle of the Golden Spurs, a largely untrained Flemish infantry militia defeated a professional force of French and Flemish cavalry. This unexpected victory effectively halted the expansion of French control over the region that would become Belgium. In 1346, Charles IV of Luxembourg was elected Holy Roman Emperor in Germany, marking an important moment in European medieval history. In 1405, Chinese fleet commander Zheng He set sail on his first major expedition to the Spice Islands. He led 208 vessels, including 62 treasure ships and nearly 28,000 sailors, marking the beginning of China's famous maritime voyages. In 1533, Pope Clement VII excommunicated King Henry VIII of England, marking a turning point in the English Reformation and the country's break from the Catholic Church. In 1708, the French army was defeated at the Battle of Oudenarde in the Netherlands by forces led by the Duke of Marlborough and Eugene of Savoy. This victory was a significant turning point in the War of the Spanish Succession. In 1767, John Quincy Adams was born. He would become the 6th President of the United States, serving from 1825 to 1829, and was known for his diplomacy and commitment to public service. In 1798, the United States Marine Corps, originally established in 1775, was formally re-established, reinforcing the role of the Marines in American military history. In 1799, an Anglo-Turkish armada bombarded Napoleon Bonaparte's troops in Alexandria, Egypt, but the attack did not succeed in dislodging the French forces. In 1804, United States Vice President Aaron Burr fatally wounded former Secretary of the Treasury Alexander Hamilton in a duel. Hamilton died the following day, ending a long-standing political rivalry. In 1818, the English poet John Keats wrote several poems including In the Cottage Where Burns is Born, Lines Written in the Highlands, and Gadfly. These works contributed to Keats' reputation as a major figure in Romantic literature. In 1838, John Wanamaker was born. He would go on to found one of the first American department stores, becoming a pioneer in retail and advertising. In 1862, President Abraham Lincoln appointed General Henry Halleck as General-in-Chief of the Federal Army, aiming to strengthen Union leadership during the American Civil War. In 1863, anger over unfair practices in the Civil War draft led to riots in New York City. Workers attacked draft headquarters, signaling widespread discontent with conscription policies. In 1877, Kate Edger became New Zealand's first woman graduate and the first woman in the British Empire to earn a Bachelor of Arts degree. Her achievement paved the way for women in higher education. In 1877, scientist and inventor Alexander Graham Bell married Mabel Hubbard at the Hubbard Estate in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Bell is renowned for inventing the telephone. In 1895, Mata Hari, the Dutch exotic dancer who would later become famous as an accused spy, married Dutch colonial army Captain Rudolf MacLeod in Amsterdam. In 1897, Salomon August André and his crew launched their famous balloon expedition from Spitsbergen in northern Norway, attempting to reach the North Pole. The daring journey captured public imagination, though it ended in tragedy. In 1899, author E.B. White was born. He would later write beloved classics such as Charlotte's Web. In 1900, Charlotte Cooper defeated Helene Prevost to become the first female Olympic tennis champion and the first individual female Olympic champion in any sport, marking a historic achievement for women in athletics. In 1914, George Herman Babe Ruth made his Major League Baseball debut playing for the Boston Red Sox. Ruth would go on to become one of the most legendary figures in baseball history. In 1916, Gough Whitlam was born in Kew, Victoria. He would serve as Australia's Prime Minister from 1972 to 1975 and was known for his progressive policies and controversial dismissal by the Governor-General. In 1927, physicist Theodore H. Maiman was born. He later became renowned for inventing the first working laser. In 1936, the Triborough Bridge, later renamed the Robert F. Kennedy Bridge and designed by David Barnard Steinman, opened in New York City. The bridge became a key part of the city's transportation infrastructure. In 1942, the Royal Air Force carried out its longest bombing raid of World War II, with 44 British Lancaster bombers attacking the Polish port city of Danzig. In 1944, President Franklin Roosevelt announced that he would run for an unprecedented fourth term as President of the United States, reflecting the ongoing turmoil of World War II. In 1953, Leon Spinks was born in St. Louis, Missouri. He would go on to win a world boxing title, making history along with his brother, Michael Spinks, as the first brothers to both achieve this distinction. In 1955, the United States Air Force Academy officially opened at temporary quarters located at Lowry Air Force Base in Denver, Colorado, marking the beginning of a new era in military education. In 1960, American author Harper Lee published To Kill a Mockingbird. The novel became a classic for its sensitive examination of a child's awakening to racism and prejudice in the American South. In 1966, the TV quiz show The Newlywed Game, hosted by Bob Eubanks, premiered in the United States on the ABC network. The show became a popular part of television culture. In 1969, David Bowie released the single Space Oddity, just 9 days before Apollo 11 landed on the moon, capturing the public imagination with its space-themed music. In 1972, American forces broke the 95-day siege at An Loc in Vietnam, marking a significant moment in the Vietnam War. In 1975, archaeologists unearthed an army of 8,000 life-size clay figures, known as the Terracotta Army, created more than 2,000 years ago for Emperor Qin Shi Huang of China. In 1989, British actor Laurence Olivier, often considered the greatest English-speaking actor of the 20th century, died near London. In 1995, more than 8,000 Bosnian Muslim men and boys were massacred by Bosnian Serb forces after they overran the United Nations designated safe haven of Srebrenica, following orders from Radovan Karadzic. This atrocity has been recognized as a genocide by international courts. In 1995, the United States and Vietnam established full diplomatic relations, marking the normalization of ties 2 decades after the end of the Vietnam War. In 2006, a series of bombings on Mumbai's city train network killed over 200 people and injured about 700 others in one of India's deadliest terrorist attacks. In 2007, Lady Bird Johnson, former First Lady of the United States and a committed environmentalist, died in Texas. She was the wife of Lyndon B. Johnson, the 36th President of the United States. In 2010, the FIFA World Cup final was held in Johannesburg, South Africa. Spain won their first World Cup, defeating the Netherlands 1-0 in a closely contested match. In 2013, Orange is the New Black premiered on Netflix, starring Taylor Schilling. The show became the first series to be nominated for both Comedy and Drama Emmy Awards. In 2015, Joaquin Guzman, the head of Mexico's Sinaloa drug cartel, escaped from prison using a lengthy underground tunnel. A massive manhunt ensued, and he was captured again 6 months later.
Subscribe so you don't miss tomorrow's events.